Hey guys, what's going on? Coach Anthony with Akron General here again with another weekly movement matchup for you guys. Today I wanted to do something special. I took three players from the football team, James Angel, Chris DeJean, and Jarrett Rockich, and all three of these guys are upperclassmen. All three of them have been training for quite a few years in the weight room and are strong athletes. And I wanted to take them and I wanted to do a movement comparison for you to see their actual lifting technique when they are lifting in the weight room. Now, the movement that we're going to be looking at today is one that's called the bent over row. And the bent over row is a great movement for building back strength. It also counters all the pushing that these guys are doing anytime they go on the bench press. So it's a great way to keep them balanced in the upper body as well. Now, what I highlight here are basically two of the most common mistakes that you'll see in athletes, and then I have one athlete who actually does it pretty darn well. So we're going to start off with our first mistake, and this is one that James is going to demo for us. Now, what you'll notice that is when James is doing this row, you'll see a lot of upper body displacement. His shoulders are rising. There's a lot of body language up top. He'll lift with his hips. He'll pull that bar up and then let that bar pull him down each time. Okay, and that's not something that we want to see with the athletes. Ideally, it's a strong level pull, and their shoulders aren't dipping and driving much as they go to lift that bar up. Now, our second athlete, Chris here, does a better job of keeping his torso level, but you'll notice that if you look at his lower back, he's pretty rounded through that lower back, and this is actually bad because it places a lot of strain on the vertebrae of the spine. Now, granted, he's not doing a ton of weight here, but it's still enough that if he were to be doing this movement incorrectly for high volume, he could end up experiencing some back pain. So we want to make sure that when he is rowing, that he tries to correct that back position. Instead of being rounded like a cat, he actually wants to arch his back and try to flatten that curve out as much as possible. Okay. Now, our third athlete here does a great job of keeping a neutral spine, keeping that back locked and tight, and not moving his shoulders or his hips much as he goes to row that bar, and that's Jarrett Rockich. Now, notice that as Jarrett is rowing, he keeps the bar in nice and tight to his body. He rows straight up to his sternum. There's a little bit of shoulder displacement up and down, but not very much. The other thing that you notice, too, is that you can actually see that concave arch in his lower back as he is pulling up to his sternum each time with that barbell, and that is telling us that he's doing a great job of keeping those spinal erectors engaged, that he's not relying on the actual architecture of his spine to support that weight, but instead of the musculature of his back to hold that weight and to keep that spine locked in nice and tight and securely.